This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. Oh boy, you know what? It's been another day in Oilers land, another crazy one. Something we didn't see happening. Well, it's happened today, and well, how else do you cut it? Tyler Ennis on waivers for the Oilers today. Now, obviously, this is pretty simple, clear and cut how this works for the Oilers today. Is Tyler Ennis hasn't done much, right? Straight up, he has not done much to contribute to anything for the Oilers. Not really able to contribute to anything, right? Not getting any substantial power play time, any top 6 minutes, anything like that. But that wasn't exactly what we were expecting out of Tyler Ennis this season. So far this year, he's played 4 games for the Oilers, a -4, which nobody seems to have noticed on the old score sheet for him so far this year. Only 2 shots all season long, playing 9 minutes and 47 seconds per game so far. And the defensive zone starts again. This is kind of a troubling problem with the bottom 6, is the bottom 6 has had no time to start in the offensive zone. You see what offensive zone time did for a guy like Jesse Puljujärvi last night, who everybody's claiming had the game of his life, but 60.9% defensive zone starts for Tyler Ennis. A Corsi 4 at even strength of 37.5%. No matter how I can cut it, I can give you any stat here. It is ugly for Tyler Ennis and the Edmonton Oilers. So, not to say this is well deserved, but this is, if you're going to cut dead weight, Tyler Ennis is a guy you can probably cut dead weight with. Is the right side, it's a little bit of a different story. That's why probably Alex Chiasson isn't off the team yet. But on the left side, when you've got, right, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, you've got James Neal, who's capable of playing the left side. You've got Dominic Cahoon over there on the left side. Don't forget Jujhar Khaira. Don't forget Devon Shore. There's a lot of guys, right? Josh Archibald played part of the season already on the left side. There's a ton of guys. Joakim Nygard. There's no short list. Oh, wait, what about maybe if Tyler Ennis does get claimed, Tyler Benson coming up and being on the left side, right? You see where this all works out? There's a lot of potential for a guy like, of course, Tyler Benson, Jujhar Khaira, Joakim Nygard, somebody to come in here and make a difference where Tyler Ennis, I'm going to mess it up and say Kyle Turris at some point, Tyler Ennis has not made a difference so far this season. But that is not exactly done and dusted and set in stone. Why is that? Because simply, for the Oilers, he's only on waivers. And we've seen, right, Jujhar Khaira go on waivers. We've seen a multitude of players for the Oilers go on waivers, while only one guy, Anton Forsberg, has been claimed so far. So, for us as the Oilers, you know what? This is an exact full-blown panic mode. Oh my goodness, we're going to lose Tyler Ennis. Because what is most upsetting, if we do indeed end up losing Tyler Ennis, is the fact that that 5th round pick for this year, well, sorry, that's another crapped away pick by GM Ken Holland. Yeah, remember we crapped one away for Mike Green. We crapped a couple of them away for Andres Athanasiou, and we also crapped one away for Tyler Ennis, all of which are not going to be on the team potentially as of January 26, 2021. That is brutal, but at the same rate, you know what? You can sit here and complain about that, or you can look at it this way. When it comes to the Oilers and their situation they find themselves in with no backup goaltender, no this, no that, Tyler Ennis getting claimed on waivers is a valuable $1 million in cap space freed up without having to do any kind of magic maneuvering. And that is huge for the Oilers. In a worst case scenario possibility, there is still light at the end of the tunnel. Why? Because that $1 million might be enough, depending on what the Mike Smith situation looks like. I know they were talking he's not close to being ready yet, but that $1 million can go out there and fetch you, with the LTIR money we have available, nice amount of goaltending, that is for sure. Right now we have about $1.25 million of cap space remaining. So that's okay, right? Salary pool remaining is about 1.25 million. Well, you get free up Tyler Ennis is $1 million. All of a sudden, 2.25. You tell me what goaltenders you can go buy for a total, I don't know, of about $2 million to back up Mr. Mikko Koskinen. And there's some goalies in the league that are capable of backing up Koskinen for $2 million. So that's just kind of a huge thing to keep track of here as we go into the next couple days, because yes, you could potentially very well find yourself, if Tyler Ennis gets claimed, being able to allocate that money to a goaltender. Now, here's the thing. If he doesn't get claimed, what happens? Well, this simply is claim or no claim. What looks like a move to get Evan Bouchard into the lineup for the game tomorrow night. Right? We said it's not a matter of if anymore, it's a matter of when. And this move gets one guy off the roster, allows a guy from the taxi squad to come up, especially because Tyler Ennis is on waivers. That creates that roster space and that need for the taxi squad, which is kind of the written rule. You need somebody from the taxi squad. You just don't want somebody from the taxi squad. So hence, Evan Bouchard, step on up and make your season debut. Now, there's still talk about 7 D-man as opposed to 6 D-man. However that works, right? Obviously, that configuration makes sense if we're missing Tyler Ennis up front. So there's a whole bunch of possible configurations you could go with here. You could call up Joakim Nygard and just slap him in the lineup. You could call up Jujhar Khaira, slap him in the lineup. You could do whatever the heck you want right now with that roster space if you are the Edmonton Oilers, who are currently carrying 13 forwards and, of course, 8 defensemen. So who is the odd man out right now? Alex Chiasson's still there. So, right, you can obviously call up Evan Bouchard. Yeah, sure, great. Or you can throw Alex Chiasson in there. You can do whatever the heck you want to do to get this job done if you're Ken Holland and Dave Tippett. And realistically, right, that is a big roster move that changes the Oilers compared to the game they just won against the Winnipeg Jets. Because, yes, Tyler Ennis was in the lineup for that victory, and that is a key piece of the roster that went out there and won that game. Everybody had to contribute to do the game the way it came down, because it was the last second goal that wins it. So everybody had to do their part all game long to go out there and make sure this game was won. So now we look forward, whether it be a trade, whether it be Bouchard, whether it be Nygard, Khaira. However, I honestly can't pick how this one's going to solve. Obviously, the ideal one we'd like to see is Bouchard. Secondarily, a trade for a backup goaltender. And third, probably Joakim Nygard. And about in 12th place would be Jujhar Khaira. So, right, there's a lot of possibilities here. And I guess to see how it all shakes out, that is the fun that we are going to have here over the next, I don't know, just over 16 hours from now. We'll know what happens with Tyler Ennis and what the Oilers can do to get this team built for that next game against the Jets tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. That's the information on Tyler Ennis. We're going to get to something a little bit here on Adam Larsson in a mere moments, and then we'll talk later on tonight for sure. I'm already introduced myself out, so I'm just going to head out.